Did you know that the turning point of the Revolutionary War was a battle to control the Hudson River? What an amazing story. By 1777, the Continental Army was in disarray. They had lost several battles, and the chances of the colonists winning independence seemed slimmer every day. The time had come for the British to strike. British General John Burgoyne had a plan. He wanted to sail from the British-controlled Canada south into Lake Champlain. From there, the plan was to move overland to the Hudson River and capture Albany. British General Howe was supposed to move his army up the Hudson from New York City, which was also under British control in those days. If the British could control the entire Hudson River, they could separate the New England colonies from the middle and southern colonies. Once divided, they could be defeated. It might have worked. Instead, it became the turning point of the war for the Americans. General Burgoyne started moving his army of 7,000 men and cannons and supplies south into Lake Champlain in the middle of June, and by early July he had reached Fort Ticonderoga at the south end of the lake. He won several battles there and quickly defeated the colonists, who abandoned the fort. Now Burgoyne thought success was certain. He was so certain he let some of the officers' wives and children accompany the army. Next, Burgoyne rested his troops for 18 critical days and then started his march overland to the Hudson River. But the 18 days gave the Americans time to react. They destroyed the only road to the river by chopping down trees into the middle of the road and by rolling every boulder in sight onto the road, and by blocking up creeks alongside the road until the road to the river was an impassable swamp. Burgoyne's army had to rebuild the entire length of the road through thick North American forests. What a mess! It took Burgoyne until the end of July to travel just a short distance to the Hudson River. Once he got to the river, his army was running low on food and supplies. He sent 1,000 men towards the east to capture food for his troops, but the colonial army was ready for them. The colonists defeated and captured all 1,000 men. Burgoyne had planned to divide and conquer the colonists, but instead the colonists had divided his army. Then Burgoyne got some more bad news. There had been a critical miscommunication between headquarters in England and General Howe. Rather than coming to meet Burgoyne, Howe had moved his army south to try to capture Philadelphia. A group of reinforcements for Burgoyne coming in from the west had also been forced to retreat by the Americans. General Burgoyne was alone with an exhausted army. He was low on supplies, and winter was rapidly closing in. The Hudson River would not be falling under British control anytime soon. As he marched along the shore of the Hudson looking for supplies and for a place to stay the winter for his army, Burgoyne ran into the Americans who had dug in on a hill in Saratoga. The battles were fierce, and Burgoyne was forced to surrender on October 17, 1777. His spectacular defeat and surrender caused leaders in France to take the colonists in America more seriously. After the surrender, Ben Franklin was able to negotiate an agreement for French help and for French troops to assist the Americans, which eventually helped win the War of Independence. As the two sides, England and America, fought for control of the Hudson River, the Battle of Saratoga was the turning point of the Revolutionary War.